As you guys likely noticed, I like to spend some time picking out the absolute nonsense in the fitness industry, debunking it, and making fun of it. And that's what we're going to do in today's video. I'm going to go over some Instagram reels that I found very quickly by just simply scrolling through Instagram under the tag workout. We're going to laugh at some of how ridiculous some of the stuff is that people are doing as exercise out there. And I'm going to give you some physiological reasoning behind why it's not actually exercise and why it's really stupid. So we're going to learn a couple things from these reels, and we're also going to laugh and have a good time. So let's get into it. Oh man, this first one, jeez. And the weight falls off. Man, you know, this isn't even uncommon. I mean, you probably go to any gym and you see something like this. You see some kind of like crazy guy just loading the weight up and just flinging it around. I don't know why they do it. I don't know if this was serious, like he thought that maybe he was strong. But remember, the goal of the exercise is not to make the weight move. The weight is simply coming along for the ride. The goal of the exercise or the machine is to provide a resistance for your muscles to work against, to deeply fatigue them, recruit a lot of motor units, and stimulate an adaptive response. Will throwing tons of weight on the machine potentially achieve this? Yeah, but the problem is with doing something like this is, first of all, you look like a complete idiot because you're literally swinging weight and you're using some effort to overcome the initial inertia, but the momentum is carrying the exercise throughout the entire range of motion without your muscles really doing anything. And then obviously the huge downside to this is the amount of shearing forces and excessive force you are creating by flinging such a huge amount of weight. So apart from looking like a complete moron, this is just a really dangerous, relatively ineffective, inefficient way of maybe potentially stimulating some of your muscle.
1,000 sit-ups every day for 7 days.
Yeah, let me stop this right there. You can't get a six-pack in 7 days. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is kind of under the impression that you're literally sculpting and toning your midsection as you do sit-ups. And that's where the idea comes from. Oh, if I can do 1,000 sit-ups a day, I will sculpt and tone my midsection better than if I did 100, 200, or 500. And this comes from the indoctrination of marketing over the past 20 years of these people trying to sell you ab machines. They would use buzzwords like sculpt and tone and torch fat. And it made you under the impression that the action of doing ab exercises is literally torching fat and sculpting and shaping your midsection. Physiologically, this is just not how this works. The abdominal exercises will build your abdominal muscles to a certain degree in terms of muscular hypertrophy, but really the whole point of the abdominal exercises is just for increased strength in the rectus abdominis. Abdominal exercises don't really do anything for the appearance of your midsection unless you're already like single-digit body fat, like a bodybuilder.
1,000 sit-ups every day for 7 days to see if I can get abs in a week. I can't believe I have to do 1,000. This is what we're starting with.
And on day 7,
one.
she'll
On
do
day
the
7,
ab
the
reveal.
ab
Okay, yeah,
reveal.
let's see. What kind of ab reveal?
I still have 300 left.
I'm just gonna do this. I don't care. It's so hard. Well, guess what, honey? You just completely wasted 7 days of your life. You know what? We got to the end of the TikTok. You know what we didn't see? The ab reveal. So she did this for 7 days with no ab reveal. Do you wanna know why? Because you probably realized 7,000 sit-ups in a week didn't actually do anything because it's physiologically impossible. Doing 7,000 sit-ups in a week is not gonna take you from no abs to abs. So while it was probably an entertaining video for people who don't know any better, well, we kind of missed the end result. We were supposed to see what happened at the end. I mean, you and I can predict that absolutely nothing happened in terms of the appearance of her midsection, but she didn't even have the courage to show that nothing happened. What a shame. Oh man, this poor lady. Man, and this is what gets me. Like when it comes to trainers, like the guy training her, he's got great genetics. Like look at his arms. He's probably not a very big guy. You can tell his shoulders are very narrow. But some people, and you've probably met people like this, some people just have big biceps. They just have long muscle bellies and just kind of the way their genetics are. They just kind of naturally have nice looking arms. And then, people like this poor lady here look at him and like, oh, he must know something about fitness. Look at his arms. But the truth is, a lot of the times it's mostly genetic. And based on what we're seeing here, This guy doesn't know anything about fitness. You know, I mean, this isn't exercise. This isn't fitness. And believe it or not, this is actually calisthenics. Calisthenics are not chin-ups, push-ups, dips, things like that. Calisthenics are more along the lines of this silly jumping around nonsense. This isn't going to do anything. You know, this might slightly increase the amount of muscular demand on your body. You know, your heart's going to get pumping, you're going to get breathing heavy and stuff, but it's not going to be enough to stimulate long-term adaptations. And, you know, just because your heart is pumping and you're sweating, these, for people who don't know any better, are indicators of a workout. But it's really not. These are side effects of just using your body. So what this is here, this isn't exercise. This is just using your body. It's no more exercise than maybe riding a unicycle and juggling pineapples is. But man, I gotta tell you guys, it's an absolute shame that the fitness industry has come to this. You know, back in the 80s and even the 90s, maybe even the early 2000s, fitness was better. It was about lifting weights. It was about getting in the gym, grinding, being dedicated. Now it seems to only be about what's gonna make the best video. But be wary of all this crap that you see on social media promoted as exercise, because most of the time it's not effective. It's usually dangerous and just outright stupid. And in most cases, if you did the exact opposite of what you see on social media, you'd probably end up with a pretty effective workout program. But if you want a really effective, safe, and time-efficient workout program, go to goldenarrowsystem.com, download my high-intensity training, research-based training program. This is going to allow you to get the best results your genetics are capable of in just 2 workouts per week safely. Even if you have nagging joint injuries, if you're young, if you're old, if you're even confined in a wheelchair, you can use these principles and get the best results that your genetics are capable of with only about an hour of exercise per week. Go to goldenarrowsystem.com, check it out. You're gonna love it, and avoid all this crazy, silly nonsense, because you're generally just gonna end up frustrated with wasted time. And if you let this guy hit you in the stomach with a hammer, probably a broken rib cage.